Most of the things that give life meaning do not feel meaningful while they are happening. They feel tiring, repetitive, annoying, heavy. Raising children sounds meaningful when you look back on it, but in real time it's lack of sleep, mess, noise, responsibility, worry, doing the same things again and again with no applause and no clear finish line. Building something meaningful sounds inspiring in retrospect, but while we are doing it, it often feels like emails, problems, delays, uncertainty, and wondering whether any of this is actually going somewhere. Even hardship works this way. We look back on difficult periods and say, that changed me, that made me stronger, that showed me what mattered. But while we were inside it, we were not thinking, oh yes, beautiful character development. We were thinking, I want this to end. And this creates a strange paradox. Meaning is often recognized only after the fact, not because the meaning wasn't there, but because the present tense is a terrible place to evaluate it. In the present we are too close. We feel the cost before we understand the value. We feel the effort before we see the result. And this is where confusion begins, because we expect meaningful things to feel meaningful while we are doing them. We think meaning should feel deep, inspiring, like in the movies. But most of the time, meaning does not feel like meaning. It feels like responsibility, repetition, inconvenience. It feels like doing something you don't always want to do because some part of you knows it matters. The problem is that our mind is built to notice immediate experience. Pain now, boredom now, fatigue now. So when we ask, does this feel meaningful right now? We ask the wrong question, because right now the answer may honestly be no. It may just feel difficult, and if we use that feeling as evidence, we will abandon exactly the things we'll later wish we had stayed with. This is why people can miss meaning while they're inside it. Not because they're ungrateful or shallow, but because the present is noisy. It is filled with friction, and meaning is often quite underneath that friction. You don't always feel the meaning of caring for someone when you're exhausted. You feel the exhaustion. You don't always feel the meaning of practicing a skill when progress is slow. You feel the boredom. Only later does the mind compress the experience, it removes the boring part, it connects the dots, it turns chaos into a chapter, and suddenly you can see what the moment was part of. And the reason is simple. Meaning often requires distance, because meaning is relational. A single moment may not make sense on its own. Changing a diaper at 3 a.m. is not meaningful because of a diaper, it is meaningful because of a relationship. Sitting with someone for a hard season is not meaningful because suffering is good. It is meaningful because love sometimes requires staying. But in real time you don't see the whole pattern, you only see immediate demand. And this is why the advice just enjoy the moment is sometimes too simple. Some moments are not enjoyable, some moments are just hard. And when we are told to enjoy them anyway, we don't just fail to enjoy them, we also add a problem on top. Now the moment is hard and we are doing it wrong. We are not present enough, not grateful enough, not mindful enough. The advice to enjoy the moment can turn the absence of enjoyment into a personal failure. Some seasons are not meant to be savored in the normal sense. They are meant to be carried. So instead of asking yourself, am I enjoying this? Or even, does this feel meaningful? A better question might be, is this connected to something I would be proud to have lived? It changes the frame because it allows for the fact that meaningful things can feel unpleasant. It allows for the fact that you can be tired and still be doing something important. You can be uncertain and still be building something valuable. You can feel no grand emotion and still be inside one of the most meaningful periods of your life. This doesn't mean we should romanticize suffering. Not every burden is meaningful. Sometimes a hard thing is just a bad arrangement. Sometimes endurance is not wisdom, it is avoidance. So the point is not to say if it hurts, it must matter. That's another trap. The point is that the present moment gives you information, but it does not give you the whole truth. So, what can we do about this? I don't think we can fully solve it. We are always going to be bad at recognizing meaning in real time. That may simply be part of being human. But we can become a little less fooled by the absence of a meaningful feeling. We can stop assuming that if something matters, it should feel profound every day. We can stop treating friction as proof that we are on the wrong path, and maybe we can pause occasionally and ask, what might I understand about this later that I cannot see right now? Don't force gratitude. Don't pretend everything is beautiful. Just create a little space between the heaviness of a moment and the possible meaning of a season. Because one day you may look back at a period of your life and realize that was it. That was the thing, not the vacation, not the achievement, not the perfect day where everything felt aligned, but the ordinary stretch of life that felt messy, repetitive, demanding, and unresolved while you were inside it. Responsibilities, the quiet sacrifices, the days you kept going without knowing that it mattered. Maybe the tragedy is not that meaning is hard to find. Maybe the tragedy is that it is often there while we are too busy, too tired, or too overwhelmed to recognize it. So the task is not to feel meaning all the time. That's probably impossible. The task is to live in a way that gives your future self something to recognize, because meaning often arrives late, but it rarely arrives from nowhere.